Hey, we're here at the Valley of the Rogue State Park, just outside of Rogue River, Oregon. It's kind of between the larger towns of Grants Pass and Medford, Oregon. This is a spot that Diana and I have camped at numerous times. We thought maybe you might want to take a tour in case you ever find yourself in this area. Let's do a drive-through. All right, here we go, Valley of the Rogue Campground. There might actually be somebody at the booth today, but it says booth closed. Let's take a look. Yeah, I was going to say that'd be the first time in years that we've seen the booth opened, if it was open. So here you go. You're going to cruise through here. Now the first loop we come to is for tenters. And they have a couple yurts in there that you can see those off in the trees maybe. And that's called a loop. Let's just do a real quick drive through. There you go, there's one of the utes there, self-registration. We have never stayed in a yurt. Actually, I think there's a few more yurts in here than before, so there's quite a few yurts in here. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, there's a lot of them. I hope this turns around down here and goes back. Yeah, it's a little loop down here, so we get to go back out and show the yurts on the other side. But man, that's more yurts than I thought was in here. It was never this many before. It's been a few years since we've been in here. All right, there's some more yurts on this side, so yeah. And it looks very well kept. In fact, they were cleaning a couple of the yurts back at the corner. A handicap yurt, yeah. All right, so that is a loop, and that was all yurts. I didn't even see any tent camping in there. Did you, Diane? All right, now you're going to take a left out of a loop. You're going to run down this road a little ways till we get to the next loop. Okay, and then over here to the left is the dump station. We won't run through there, but you can see it. And there are two stations there at the dump station. So this loop here we're going to go through, which is B and C loop. Now these are full hookup sites, so these usually fill up the most. So I think B is the outer loop and C is the inner loop straight ahead. So here we go. This is B loop. There's B2. The camp host is over here to the left. B3 right next to the camp host. Then B4. And that's B5 where that motorhome's sitting. B6 the empty site. B7 is where that designer Jayco is. And then there's B8 to the right. There's B12 and B13. Now these aren't real long on the left-hand side. For larger rigs, these ones here on the right, like that B14 right there, B17 right there where that Weekend Warrior is, those are the longer sites as the pull-through sites. B18 over here to the left, B19 where that van camper is. And B20 is another pull-through right there. So for us and our size rig, we're 42 foot, we would want the pull-through sites there just because they're longer. If we stayed in this section. There's B23, B25 off here to the left. And there's B27 is a pull-through. We have stayed at this State Park a number of times. We've never camped in this section at all. There's B30. We'll show you where we typically camp. We usually camp down in, well, not usually, we've always camped down in F Loop. There's B33, B34 over here, and another camp post. All right, now the inner circle is C Loop. Let's go and take a look. You can see the restrooms and stuff straight ahead up there. Garbage. So there's C1 off to the left. In fact, I think all the sites here are off to the left. C2, C3, C4, C5 where that Sprinter is, and C6 is empty. Now you can see that they did mark them. These are all available for one-night stays, so pretty open. Now at the time of this video, this weekend, it's in the 90s, 95, 96. A lot of smoke in the air. Oregon is burning up. California is burning up. All the smoke is gathering here. There's C11, C12, and C13 right there. And C14, okay. That is C Loop. Now this is the main road again that we came in on. We're going to hang a left. And we're going to run down here a little ways. And this is the D and E loops, and this is also full hookup sites. Yeah, and it's the same setup. So you have, what is it? D is the outer loop and E is the inner loop. So let's go through D loop. There's your camp host off to the left. There's D3 is the little pull through there. D2 off to the left. You get the idea. I don't need to call them off. You can probably read them. There's D5 where that mobile suites is. And again, same thing. The sites on the inner loop, on the inside or to the left side there, are shorter. And those half moon sites are all longer. D11 is that pull through. There's D12 to the left and D13. And then there's D14. Man, the campground's pretty empty. So this is a Sunday afternoon, about 2 o'clock that we're driving through. So maybe it was full on Saturday and this morning, I have no idea. D18, D20 is a pull through. And D26 where that Sprinter is. And D25 where that Arctic Fox is. There's D27's empty. This is a short little horseshoe here. D28, that's a short one. D31, you got to get around that tree. That's not that bad though. With a big rig, it'd be tighter. And D33 to the left. You can see the sprinklers running. Well, I'll tell you what, we came home one day, we were camped in the F Loop. We came home, you can see those are big water guns right there. They shoot a lot of water. We came home and that sprinkler was just beating the side of our, at that time was a Class A. Dang. So I took a chair and I took a doormat and I went out there and I used a chair and a doormat to block the sprinkler from hitting the coach. It was horrible. Here we are, E loop. There's E2 off to the left. So all of these will be off to the left, and these aren't real long. E6 where that tent is. We're going to veer off to the right here and just show you the restroom because there's a kid off to the left. We're going to keep the kid off the video. There we go. Now we're back. We're past him. So there's E9. E10 and E11 right there, and where that Royal International is E12. All right, let's jump out of these two loops. We're going to run back up to the main road again. And once again, we're going to turn left and head down toward F Loop. But before we get down to F Loop, you'll find a spot down here that is kind of an activity center. They do sell firewood here, but of course this time of year, as dry as it is, no fires. I will also mention that the way the camera is pointing now, out past those mounds and whatnot, is a bike trail. And the bike trail goes for miles. All right, here is the amphitheater and day use parking. We're not going to run over there. I'm just going to show you from here. It's just a gravel area. If they have any events of any sort, they can have them there in that big. We don't see much going on there though. So really, it's there, but we haven't seen much use. Now we're going to head down to F Loop, and this is where Diane and I have always camped, is down here in F Loop. All right, here we are, F Loop. Now, F Loop is just electrical. Is there water? I think there's water now too, yes. But here you go. So we've camped in a lot of these. We've camped here in F1 to the left-hand side. This is F2. There's F3 to the left and F5 coming up there. F4, F6. F8 to the left. F9 right over there. I think we've camped in F10 here in the past as well. And we have not camped in F11, but we have camped in F12 right there a couple of times. We've liked that site down there. Now it's funny, that one little site just never seemed to get, we couldn't get TV down there. F14. Now the ones on the right hand side are shorties, F13, F15. All these over here to the left hand side are longer, F16. We're going to do this main loop for you, F17. Now up this way, as you're looking at now, 51 through 55, those are, you have the camp host right up there. Oh, and right over here to the left as well. You have two camp hosts across from each other. Those ones up that road there are a little bit smaller, and then the comfort station is up there as well. Showers, toilets. You can see they sell firewood. There's F19, F12. Let me point this out. Right along here, F21, F23. You see that back behind F21 there? That is part of the septic system in this park. So I would keep that in mind. F21, F23, whatever was right before here. I'd probably stay away from those a little bit. We had some friends that camped there, and we visited them, and we actually had a slight amount of smell. But look at that, F24. Look how deep F24 is. And again, way back in those trees is a bike trail. F25 right here. F26. We've camped in F27 a couple times in the past. We like that one. And I think we camped in F30 there a couple times as well. Now also from right here, if you take that little gravel road you see, that'll take you back in there a little ways. And you can turn left and go back toward the bike trail as well. F32 here to the left. F33 is pretty deep. There's a fair amount of trees in here, so if you're into your satellite TV, keep that in mind. It'll be a little iffy for you depending which one you get. F36 is a nice deep site, kind of gets back to nice privacy in your yard area. Yeah, but now also Diane pointed out the trees you see back behind these sites, the freeway's back there. Now, it's not really that loud. I think the trees really knock off a lot of the sound, but there's F40 to the right. There's F44, a little shorty. F45. And then this is where that road comes out. We told you we're a few shorty. Usually what we see up here, just tents, typically in this section up here. And then there you'll see the restrooms again. That's what we pointed out over by the camp hosts. There's F46, F47 off the right, 48, and 49. There's F50. Now we're back out here to the entrance where we came into the F loop. And this is the road back out toward the entrance. Okay, we hope you enjoyed that little drive through. Hopefully it helps someone out along the way. If you enjoyed this video at all, how about a thumbs up? Consider leaving a comment down below. Maybe even hit that subscribe button. As always, have a great day. We'll see you in the next video.